Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Monday, starting the week off on a positive, peaceful, powerful note. All of that good stuff, man. Give y'all about 2-3 minutes to go ahead and tap in with the kid, man, before we start getting the ball rolling, building on the subject matter for the day. So, first of all, let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know how y'all living on this wonderful Monday, man. Like I said, hopefully everything is good. Hopefully y'all staying safe, staying healthy, staying positive, and all that good stuff. Montel, peace. What's happening with you, my brother? How you living? How you feeling? How you holding up? We feeling a little motivational on this side of town. Montel, everything is good, man. Everything is peaceful, man. We just maintain it. Maintain it, man. Just staying positive, getting things done, accomplishing goals, all of that good stuff, man. Whatever is positive, we on that vibe. That's the vibe we on, man. Whatever is positive, we striving to be on that type of vibe, on that type of time, man. Positivity, man. That's what we on. That's what we on over on this side of town, man. Just all positivity, strictly positivity, power, prosperity, all that good stuff. Peace, all of it. Jasmine, Peace Queen, what's happening? Shantae, Peace Queen, what's going on? What's happening? What's the word? Yeah, we feeling peaceful, man. We feeling peaceful. Gotta spread that energy. Gotta spread that energy, man. Once again, every now and then, man, we gotta take a mental health check. I gotta check in on everybody, man, and speak positivity to the people because I know we all going through it, man. I know we all going through it. I know we all battling, struggling with something, man. I know we all going through somebody. We going through something. Each and every one of us, man. We going through something. I know how those positive words can just come in handy, especially when they're right on time. So that's why I make sure every now and then I just do one of these joints where it's just strictly positivity, man. Because that can go a long way, man. I've been there, done that, man. Just going through something crazy. It's just like day after day, it's just all negativity. And then it's just like you tap in with something or somebody and they speak that positivity to you right on time, right when you need it. God is peace. What's happening, Queen? Right when you need it, right when you need it, man. You just, again, man, you was right the edge of that cliff, man, ready to jump, ready to risk it all, lose it all. And somebody came right on time and just spoke that life into you and prevented you from just doing something you will regret later on. So I know what those words of encouragement can do, man. Words of encouragement can take you a long way. That's why I tell everybody, man, I'm always mindful when I'm having conversations with individuals, whether it's a stranger or somebody I know, man. You just never know what somebody is going through. So I'm always try to choose my words carefully. I always try to choose my words carefully. It would be nice if people would reciprocate that to me or to us, but normally that don't happen. But hey, at the end of the day, I don't like putting that bad energy out into the atmosphere, like at all. That's just not a good feeling, man. Put that bad energy in the atmosphere, then you look up, you was real just nasty with somebody, and you look up and something bad didn't happen to them. They didn't. Situations like that, man, where you can't even go back and apologize, man. Little stuff like that happened to the kid, man. So it's like, man, you got to be mindful. Be mindful when you having conversations, and it ain't necessarily got anything to do with the person you talking to. It's about your conscience, man. You talk to somebody, you nasty to somebody for no reason, and then next thing you know, they deceased, and like you're gonna be feeling bad for the rest of your life, man, because you're gonna remember. Last thing you're gonna remember is how you treated that person before they passed. Like, man, I was nasty to them, man. They asked me something simple and I went off on them. Like, nah, man, that's not a good way. Like, that's not a good situation to be in. Those are not good circumstances to be living under. Trust me, I know. Pisces the King, peace, what's happening? TRKR, peace, what's happening with you? So yeah, man, I'm always mindful. Always mindful, man. I'm always striving to speak life into people. That's why I'm listening a lot. That's why I'm not so quick to judge individuals because, again, man, I don't know the whole story. I don't know what you're going through. And again, even if I did know what you're going through, I know and understand that you're not about to, you don't maneuver how I maneuver, So we all deal with our things. We all deal with our traumas differently. So we can all be going through the same thing, but it's the response that's going to be different. So I also understand that, man. So even if it was something that I conquered, and I may have conquered it easily, you could be going through that same situation and it could be troubling for you. It can be difficult, complicated for you to conquer it. And I conquered it with ease, you know, but I'm not going to judge you based off of how you going through it, how you dealing with it, how you coping with it. That's not right. That's not fair. You know, I may be in another space, like mentally. I may be in another realm mentally than you are. You know what I'm saying? You may not be as far along in the journey as I am. So I can't expect for you to master things at the rate of speed in which I mastered it, you know? So we got to understand that, man, when we chopping it up with individuals, a lot of times when we chopping it up with people and we hearing them express their problems and we offering advice, we giving them advice through the lens of thinking that they gonna move how we move. It's not how it goes. That's not how it goes at all, man. So again, like you always got to be mindful of that, man. People just deal with things differently. People cope with things differently, man. And you got to see the world through that lens, man. Again, like I said, you got to look for things. You got to look at things how they truly are, not how you perceive them to be. That whole your perception is reality thing will only get you so far. When you chopping it up with other people, then you got to know and understand like you can't control how they perceive something. So you got to look at the world based off of how they are looking at it, or at least try to put yourself in their shoes. You know, so that's how you got to break things down. So when they are expressing a problem to you, then you got to collect all the data that you can, and you got to try to look at the problem through their lens when you are offering solutions to said individual. Not the way you feel like they should conquer it. Like it may not work like that for you, man. Or it may not work that way. It may not work that way for them. Beast by Bless Zone out. Peace. What's happening with you? You say whoever came up with the phrase sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt was a whole lie. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like whoever came up with that, matter of fact, I don't even know why they had us repeating that mantra. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a straight mantra that we was repeating and we didn't even understand why we was repeating it, man. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. Now, in a sense, I get what they are trying to say. You know, I get what they are trying to say about, again, that ties back to your perception being a reality. So when somebody says something to you, you can perceive it in a certain light to where it doesn't affect you. But at the end of the day, no, them words carry weight and them words are powerful. The spoken word is very powerful. So words spoken to you by another person does have the ability to harm you, most definitely. In more ways than we know, too. Pisces is the king for sure. You say, I embrace peace, prosperity, and power in all aspects of life. And that's what you got to do. That's what we have to do. Ray, for sure, man. I just left that gym, man. So I already know. Dean, peace, what's happening? Gotta embrace it. You know, when it comes to peace, matter of fact, I'm gonna ask you all a question. You know, I'm gonna give y'all a chance to define, because a lot of times we don't deal with definitions, man. We just be utilizing words and we never really sat down and defined the words. And I'm not even talking about defining it in the sense of looking it up in the dictionary. Hey, sometimes we haven't done that either. But a lot of things, man, we have just been like we just use certain words and we don't really think about what it means. It's almost like, I'm gonna give you a prime example in regards to what I do. When I first started training, like when I had to instruct people how to do something like a push-up, it was like at first that was hard for me. Like I know how to do a push-up because it's natural. I've been doing push-ups my whole entire life. But when it was time for me to break down to somebody who's never done a push-up, how to do it properly, man, mind-boggling. Like I wasn't able to do it. So I had to learn how to break down or explain to somebody how to do a push-up. You know, something that I naturally know how to do. I just couldn't explain how to do it. So sometimes it's like that with words that we utilize. Man, we utilizing words, but we don't really know what they mean. So I'm gonna ask y'all the question: what does peace mean to you? Everybody give me their definition of peace. What does peace mean? Like, what does peace mean to you? I'm not talking about the Google definition. I'm not talking about the Oxford Dictionary definition. What does peace mean to you? Sweet Tea, peace, what's happening? Like, what does peace mean to you? I'm giving y'all the floor here. Let me hear y'all definitions, or let me read y'all definitions for peace. What does peace mean to you? Break it down for me. I can give y'all my breakdown, but I'm gonna let y'all have the floor for a second, man. Y'all break down what peace means to you all. Like, what does peace mean? When you say you're striving for peace, are you activating peace, or you want peace, or somebody should be your, like, what are you talking about? What does peace mean? What does it mean for you to be at peace? What would the world look like if you were at peace? Like, what would your world look like if you were at peace? Are you at peace now? What would it take for you to reach that state of peace? Like, these are important questions. So give me them breakdowns, man. I know y'all intelligent, man. I know I can get some great definitions from you all. Javon, you say to have peace to you is to have mental clarity and be at still in life. Now, Javon, are you at that point? So are you at peace with that definition? Dean, you say peace is contentment, acceptance to me. Dean, are you at peace right now? Based off your definition. Jacqueline, peace when what's happening? Internal calm and confidence in one's own abilities. So Jacqueline, are you at peace right now, according to your definition? Lindell, peace, my brother, for sure. Goddess, you say peace to me means being at one with myself, meaning having balance in my life, mentally, physically, emotionally, and yes, I'm at peace with myself. There we go. Shantae, you say peace is to be mentally sound. So Shantae, are you at peace right now, according to your definition? And Goddess, you say, yes, I'm at peace with myself. Next question. When did you realize, like, when did you reach that state of peace? Like, when did you know, all right, I'm at peace with my life? Like, what was the realization to where you was able to say, yeah, right now I'm at peace? Like, I know I'm at peace with my life right now. What was the realization? Was it something that happened that you realized, like, okay, I'm at peace because of how I dealt with this situation? Now I know that I'm at peace. Or you just woke up one day and was like, yeah, I'm just going to claim it. You know, did something happen to you for you to say I'm at peace, or did you just claim it? Charles, peace, what's happening? Akuma, peace. Montel, peace in my eyes, something that helps you develop in freedom and at the same time enjoy myself during that development. So Montel, based on your definition, are you at peace? Renee, where you say to be okay with my own company, you say not yet. All right, what steps are you taking to reach that state of peace there, Renee? Oh, Jacqueline, for sure, you say I'm further than I was and confident I will reach that pinnacle for sure. Most definitely. We always got to be confident in reaching that pinnacle. What do you feel like is missing right now? Why do you feel like you're not there yet? Dean, and I was going to ask that, but you answered it for me. You say reprogramming my mind to redefine success. So how do you currently see success now, since you got to redefine it? You know, what's the definition of success that's holding you back? Oh, yeah, I'm coming with some questions today, man. I'm going to have y'all finna do some work today. I'm going to have y'all answering some questions. Y'all going to see. I'm going to start asking questions to the point y'all going to see why I used to get in trouble back in the day, because I asked a lot of questions. Y'all going to get a taste of some of the questions that I would ask, or the way I would ask questions. All right, Akuma. So you say I'm rarely at peace, to be honest, only because my mind always cooks up something new to do, yet I find peace within that. So if you find a peace within that, you don't think that that's you being at peace? And if the answer is no, then what steps do you need to take to reach that state of peace that you're striving towards? But again, I forgot to ask your definition of peace. So how do you even define peace? Until you say you're getting closer. What's the missing piece? The life is J Rock up next piece. What's happening with you, fam? Oh yeah, for sure. Always love to see the black brothers and black sisters doing their thing, man. I'm all for that. All right, Shantae, there you go. You say I would say I'm getting there. I still have some negative self-talk that pops up, so I use my affirmations to keep me on track. All right, you say them affirmations. Affirmations are definitely something that's powerful. My problems with affirmations have always been consistency. Like, I don't consistently do them. Like, it's nothing for me to forget to do affirmations for today, man. I'll forget something like that, man. So, but that's my biggest problem: consistency. Consistency with doing things that will help establish peace. Like, I'm always inconsistent with those things, like meditation, affirmations, even journaling. Sometimes, man, I might go days, I might go weeks without doing anything. The only thing I'm consistent with, of course, is just kind of like eating and then exercising and reading and things like that. But those outside things, those things that I just mentioned, fall off track easily. Clocks in, my brother. Peace. What's happening, Antonio? For sure. Pushing P. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was thinking though. Yeah, pushing P, the real PPP loan out here, man. Peace, prosperity, power. Christopher, my brother. Peace, peace. Same to you, my brother. That healing energy is crucial, man, especially in the Black community. That healing energy is crucial. We all got some healing to do, man. We all have some healing to do. We all have some healing to do, man. I mean, telling you, man, being in the wilderness, North America, as a Black man, Black woman, we all got some healing to do, man. We all are affected by some type of trauma, you know, so you can analyze somebody's situation. Hey, but at the end of the day, if they got the same pigmentation to you, they not all right. They not all right, man. We have not healed collectively. So I don't care what their situation leads you to believe deep down inside. If they got the same pigmentation as you, they not all right, man. They not all right. Akuma, yeah, you say sometimes I find peace in action, sometimes I find peace doing nothing. I don't know. It's an ever-changing feeling. So yeah, that goes back to definition though. Like, how do you define peace? Javon, there you go. You say I'm not currently at peace, but I'm striving every day to be at peace. Recently, I just started journaling and writing rhymes. How is that working out for you? There you go, guys. You say when I left my last relationship and the weight lifted, and I found myself when natural, started meditating and fasting, was able to manifest things that connect with our ancestors. I always started in an altar for them. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, which is crazy you mentioned fasting because I was yeah, I was on Facebook and it was a brother that I played football against back in the day, man. You know, bigger brother and put on some more weight, which he been striving to lose weight. And he made a status, said somebody told him that he should start fasting to lose the weight, and he said he almost cursed her out. Of course, he was joking. You know, he was open to the idea. Somebody commented on the status. It's another trainer in the area where I train, because the brother is from where I'm from, obviously. So it was a personal trainer under the comments telling him basically not to listen to that individual and how he needs to go see a professional, and how fasting is bad nutritionally and things like that, just bashing the art of fasting. And somebody also got under the comments and started commenting about how they striving to be a fruitarian and how fasting has been working for them. And the brother just got all offensive and got in his feelings and whatnot. So it was crazy. Just crazy that you mentioned fasting, man, because I literally had just tapped in to that status and those comments. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. People really out here coming at fasting, man. I'm telling you, fasting is one of the ways to clear the mind and activate that peace. So when people start speaking ill of fasting, I know that they lack peace for real, man. I ain't even joking. I ain't even joking, man. Like with the trash foods that people like, I feel like it's almost, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I almost feel like, I don't want to say it's impossible, but I feel like it's hard to be at peace when you eating trash foods, when you eating toxic foods, and you're not doing anything to balance it out, like fasting and things along those lines, or detox and cleansing. I feel like you can't be at peace when your diet is overly toxic. I just don't feel like that because your body is not at peace. You know what I'm saying? Like if your body is toxic, you cannot be at peace. You know, so when your body is imbalanced, like I feel like peace is like you cannot be at peace at all. Because part of peace to me is balance. So there's no way that you can be balanced when your body is overly toxic. You know, so when people not fasting and detoxing and cleansing, there is no peace. That's why you have a lot of chaos in the world today. Because I feel like that is directly connected to peace. Now, again, I may be alone in that, but I feel like, you know what I'm saying, how you eating and the state of your body has a lot to do with you activating that peace. Because I just tapped back into the times where I was eating trash. And even when I slip up, man, my body is out of whack, man. They say you are what you eat. Y'all know that cliche is some truth to that. You know, so when you mess around and when you eating the wrong foods, man, it tampers with the quality of your mind, hence disturbing your peace. That's why a lot of the sages, when you study Buddhism, when you study a lot of these spiritual groups, they focus on diet. They tell you not to eat certain foods, to refrain from eating certain foods, because they know it tampers with your clarity. It tampers with your peace. So a lot of time, a lot of people don't associate peace with food, what you eat. Whole while when we stress out, we do what? We stress eat. We reach for what? Comfort foods. So we associate food with comfort and things like that. But when it comes to peace, a lot of times we don't associate what we eat with peace. And listen, if you're not detoxing and cleansing and cleaning up the way that you eat, man, you're not at peace because your body is not at peace. Your body is not balanced. Excuse me. Like your body is suffering. And if the body is suffering, that mind is suffering. You know? So I feel like that's crucial, man. Just cleaning up the way that you eating when you striving to activate peace, man. That's real crucial. And a lot of people neglect that reality and neglect that fact. I tell you, say the missing piece is probably the missing piece, no pun intended, is probably the decent amount of focus towards it. I can definitely relate to that, man. What are you striving to do to improve the focus, though? I'm a lot more all around peaceful compared to how I used to be. No more thoughts of exiting in the realm. Oh, for sure, Akuma. Hey, but you still ain't gave me that definition of peace, my brother. Like, how you defining peace? What does peace mean to you? I think, man, like that's how bad of a procrastinator and all of that I am. Like, I won't even set alarms on my phone. Like, I gotta do better, man. I gotta do better with reminders. That's why I'm trash with planners and things like that, man, because I will not look at them. I won't set stuff on my phone. Like, I'm just bad with it. Clocks in for sure, man. And that's a struggle. That's an everyday struggle. Especially when you just like when your time is, like when your time is not how you need it to be, like it's easy to forget to do certain things, man. TRKR, what you say? My day began peaceful. Shall it continue to do so? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, Jacqueline, for sure. You say I used to seek outside support to no avail, so I have learned to be my own supporter until otherwise. That's one of the major keys. That's another key right there that I was going to build on later. Outside of food, I feel like outside validation or external validation kills our peace. Whether you seek an outside validation from a religion, from another person, from another spiritual group, whatever it is, seeking outside validation kills peace. Kills peace. Like you are literally searching and seeking for something that's within you. That's why I say it kills peace. It destroys peace because you're going to be seeking and searching for something that you literally cannot find because it's right here. It's almost like when you tearing up the house looking for something that's on your head, man. So you got some glasses and you done flip them up and they on top of your head. Now you destroying your house looking for them. They right there. They right there. So we do the same thing with peace. We trying to find peace in all of these religions. We trying to find peace in a job. We trying to find peace in a career, whatever it is. We trying to find peace in the whole while those things nothing can bring you peace. You trying to find peace in a relationship, like all of that is horrible. That's setting you up for a lifetime of suffering. When you seeking and searching for peace externally, like that is not the way to go about it. It's not the way to go about it at all, man. You are literally searching for something that you already possess. The life is J Rock up next. You say, how often do you eat? I just started the plant-based lifestyle, and I gotta say, it really improves the mental. You help me a lot with the plant-based motivation for sure. Man, sometimes I might do one meal a day, you know. For the most part, that's how I get down. One solid meal a day. And outside of that, man, I may be snacking on like some fruits or something, some seeds, however I'm feeling. And it also depends on what the goal is for sure, man. Like if you're trying to bulk up, put on some muscle, then I would suggest you do some things differently, you know. But I pretty much, for the most part, do one solid meal a day. Oh, God is for sure. Hey, getting in alignment is the best thing for you. Black Mason, peace. What's happening? Hey, Akuma, that's being alive, man. That's being grateful, being thankful. Peace by Bless Zone out. Peace. Peace for show. You say one who can be comfortable with being themselves without the interference of others' opinion and following your intuition and being alone to reflect self-love, self-awareness. I'm at peace. There we go. There we go. I can dig that for sure. Akuma, that's terrible advice. Terrible advice. Shane of peace. What's happening? Yeah, terrible advice. Yeah, Antonio, straight trainer. And it's crazy because I actually trained somebody that used to go to the guy, And when people start telling you about how long they've been doing something, it's just like, oh, you already know what that's about. But yeah, it was bashing fasting. I'm like, man, people really do not fool with fasting. Like you would think that people out here more receptive and open to the idea of fasting. They are not. Jacqueline, yeah, the correct fasting is, man, I'm telling you, liberate, man. It'll have you feeling like what they say, cloud nine, like that. Like, listen, when you fast, you're gonna reach that state. You're gonna be tapping into the subconscious on a conscious level. So you're gonna consciously tap into your subconscious when you start fasting. Wrote off introvert peace. What's happening? Dean, you say I'm trying to redefine success as not allowing the perception of my credentials to define me. I know my credentials don't define me, but the opposite was beaten over my head from 93 to 2018 for sure. For sure, man. And I can relate to that. I can relate to that in many different ways. Many different ways. When people, when they say you are not your job, you are not your, like that type of, that type of situation. When the Buddhists start talking about the no self, things like that, like those concepts initially can be hard to grasp. But it's like when you start thinking about them deeply, you understand what it is that they are actually saying. I don't know if you all are familiar with the no self and things like that, the whole Buddhist concepts. But man, those some deep concepts when you really gain an understanding of what it is that they are actually saying to you. It's going to help eliminate or eradicate a lot of suffering and a lot of misery when you understand those concepts. A lot of times being tied to these credentials and these titles, it creates anxiety, creates stress. And I've watched that take people out of the game, being tied to these credentials and these degrees and these jobs, these careers, man. I didn't watch that drive people crazy. I didn't watch it kill people, literally. I didn't watch it kill people. Speak of peace, what's happening? So I feel at peace. I feel peace when my body is in a calm, balanced state. I'm always waking up with anxiety, feeling like I have to fight for my peace. And that's the thing, too. That's one thing I realize about peace, too. See, when people talk about peace, they have this image of a person who's never bothered. I don't view peace like that because it's definitely a struggle. Yeah, it's definitely a struggle, man. When you activating that peace, man, you're gonna come across a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of challenges, things that you have to neutralize and balance out. So most definitely, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a fight. It's definitely gonna be a struggle. Like peace, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna necessarily come easy to you in the beginning. In the beginning. Then you start mastering things like anxiety, depression, and stress. And once you get to that point, then it's like, all right, I'm good. But like I said, man, we all dealing with trauma. So when we striving for peace, when we striving to activate that peace, like that trauma still gonna pop up. That depression still gonna pop up. That anger still gonna pop up from time to time. So we gotta deal with it. When they talk about meditation, people think meditation is quiet in the mind. That's not what it is. Meditation is just allowing your thoughts to flow. So meditation don't mean stopping your thoughts or trying not to think. That's not meditation. Meditation is all about thinking. It's just not stopping those thoughts. Just allowing them to do what they do. Come and go. Allowing those thoughts to come and go because that's what they do naturally. We are the ones that pause the thought and then label it good, bad, and start feeling depressed about it. That's us that's doing that. The thoughts on their own, they're not going to be around that long because nothing is permanent, man, except for change. So again, that's why I done told people to, when they feeling depressed, man, just embrace that feeling because it's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. Just let them come and go. What we do is we pause it. We pause it. And that's why we had that prolonged state of depression because we paused that feeling and we label it bad. Somebody that told us that it's not normal to think bad or feel bad or have a down day. Like, nah, that's very normal. So the moment that you can consider that normal, then you will stop stopping the thought or pausing the thought or pausing the feeling, and you will just allow it to do its thing. But since somebody that told you that it's negative, it's bad to have that type of thought, we keep pausing it. Like, man, I feel horrible. Pause. And now you finna have this prolonged state of depression. If you just allow that horrible feeling and thought to just come and go, then about an hour later, you might be happy. You know what I'm saying? You might be happy, you might be joyful, because that's how life works. But we pause the thoughts, man. We pause the feelings. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. Don't pause it. That's what meditation is really about. Allowing thoughts to come and go. So a lot of people come to me and I hit them with meditation. They be like, man, I try to meditate, but man, it be so many thoughts racing through my mind. I say, that's the point. That's the point. That's what needs to happen when you are meditating. That's what should happen. TRKR for sure, man. I talk about that all the time. Definitely consuming the trauma. Definitely consuming it. Even outside of before they were slaughtered. Like, we don't know the feelings and thoughts of that animal before the slaughter. Like, they could be dealing with trauma just on the general. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what these, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what these animals be feeling and thinking and all of that. And these and the animals do have they do have feelings, and they can think. They have minds. Like, some of these animals are very intelligent. But before somebody try to act like they don't have feelings and thoughts, like, that's been proven that they have these things. You know. I'm telling you, oh yeah, lemon water for sure. Lemons in general, water in general. You know. Yeah, got us for sure, man. Food people sleep on the road. Food plays. Big Smooth, peace. What's happening? Montel, you say so far I'm pushing a lot more things aside most of the time. You pushing a lot of necessary things to the side or unnecessary things to the side? Shantae, man, you say you're organization queen, and I am the disorganized king. And a lot of times I say it's a method to my madness. Or it's order in the chaos and things like that to justify it. You know, that's what I say. That's my justification sometimes. Clocks in, you say, yeah, isolation, definitely, man. Isolation is definitely peace, man. Yeah, people, I feel like at some point throughout the day, everybody needs that period of isolation. Everybody. Walker, peace. What's happening? Everybody needs it. Oh, Jacqueline, for sure. Yeah, gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Always express gratitude. Like I say, a lot of times, man, we wake up angry. Like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Show gratitude that your circadian rhythm, your biological clock woke you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you woke yourself up. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for that, man. You got a circadian rhythm and that mug is operating efficiently. Be grateful that your body is working. Be grateful because it's somebody that did not wake up. Their circadian rhythm biological clock went out on them. Went out on them, and it wasn't no fixing it, you know. So grateful, man. Just be grateful for the fact you're breathing. Hey, you don't like the job, I get it. Hey, but you have the ability to change that circumstance today because you have awakened. God is fast and heals your body. Yeah, for sure. Man, listen, you're gonna be hard pressed to find somebody that reversed the condition without some element of fasting. Like I say, like I always say, when you study nature, man, when them animals, when they feeling sick, they fast. They like, nah, I'm good. I ain't about to chase down this animal and eat it today. I'm good. I need to regain my strength, and the way to do that is rest and not eat. So animals understand it. Animals don't question anything. Animals ain't out here debating whether fasting is good. Animals know and understand, like, all right, I ain't feeling good. I ain't eating. They not talking about, well, what does Google say? Like, nah, we the ones do that. We complicate everything. You know, we argue against nature. We argue against what nature instructs us to do. Like, the animals don't do that. They like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't feeling good. I ain't eating. Big Smooth, you say peace is being able to work your purpose without ease of being distracted. So Big Smooth, with that definition, according to your definition, are you at peace? Hey, for sure. You already know. Told you when it's right on time, telling you these messages go a long way. That's why from time to time I just gotta tap in with the positivity. Denise, peace, what's happening? You say peace that helps you through the many storms every new day, for sure. I'm telling you, man, peace is a struggle. You know what I'm saying? Peace is a struggle, especially in this day and age. Peace is a struggle. For sure. Let's see, peace, brother God. I appreciate the bill, adding on and causing a positive elevation in the mind, for sure. Hey, appreciate you tapping in. Exactly. You say when usually when a person is at their lowest point and ego is deflated. And that's, man, I don't know if y'all have ever been to that type of point, but I've been there, done that. When you at the lowest point, ego deflated. I mean, feeling like the world is against you, feeling like, man, the world would be better off without you type deal, man. I know we done all been there, done that. Akuma, you say you find peace and progressing within my purpose. Hey, I can see that. That's definitely peace. ERKR, you say I found peace at the fish tables this past weekend. Hey, wherever you find peace, I ain't mad at you, man. Long as it ain't harming nobody, you know what I'm saying? Long as you ain't finding peace in killing somebody or something. I can't condone that. So I tell you, observing the mind for sure. For sure. Being exact, that's the whole point. We done made being present, being still, all that type of stuff. We made it very complicated. Very like I said, we tend to make things complicated. Hey Rika, man, I'm telling you, detachment is that's listen, I swear by detachment. And a lot of times initially, since we live in an attached society, so normally when I break down the art and science of detachment, people hear it and be like, well, dag, that's heartless. Well, dag, what's the purpose of living? Well, dag, you mean tell me I shouldn't set no goal? Things like that. And that's when I know a person don't understand what detachment means. Detachment is real simple. Like I said, we complicate it. Detachment is not telling you not to set a goal. It's telling you if you set the goal and things don't go according to plan, it's still going to be okay. So if I accomplish the goal, I'm cool. If I don't accomplish the goal, I'm still cool. That's all detachment is telling you to do. That's all detachment is about. When you with somebody, detachment is telling you, when I'm with this person, cool. If I have to reach a period where I'm no longer with this person due to whatever circumstances, cool. Life still goes on. That is detachment. In a simplistic breakdown. In a simplistic breakdown, that's all detachment is about. So however life unfolds for you, you will be good because you're swift and changeable. You're going to adapt and adjust. You're going to keep on living, keep on fighting. Again, that's all detachment is telling you. So if you got a goal, detachment is letting you know, hey, don't attach yourself to this goal. Don't attach yourself to the results, because if things don't go the way that you envision, it's still going to be all right. Maybe it wasn't intended for you to reach the goal this way or reach that goal. Maybe it's another goal that you should have been focusing on, but if you so attached to this goal, if you don't reach this goal, anything else, you don't care about it, and that's not a good way to live. It's not a good way to live. Denise, you say animals are intelligent. They have instincts just like human beings, for sure. Man, big time instincts, man. Like big time instincts. I got a few books on just veganism, and they talk about the intelligence of a lot of animals compared to us. That's why if you have they tapped in. That's why if you have like a dog or something, man, they tell you that dog will know that like an earthquake or something is coming before it actually happens, because they tapped in. They tapped in. When they start acting crazy, doing weird things, that means something is coming. TRKR, you say, is it possible to discover peace in activity? I believe so. I know so, actually. From my experience, I know so. Okay, Montel, got you. You say the unnecessary things, for sure. That's what we got to do. Dean, there you go. Get that fresh air. Big Smooth, you say been isolated for 3 years. Hey, there you go. Hey, isolation is medication sometimes, man. Nappy Ted, peace, what's happening? Then you should say Ron Carpenter said you got 3 seconds to change any thoughts you might have. 3 seconds. Neutralize it. Neutralize it for sure. Oh, I see y'all talking about swimming. Swimming being peaceful. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, swimming is something I have never learned to do. I call myself a circumstantial swimmer. You throw me in the water, I'm gonna find my way up out of there. you know. But yeah, I definitely can see how peaceful it is, man. But it's a lot of activities, man, to where I'm like the peace is activated. When I'm working out, when I'm exercising, man, peace is activated. When I'm listening to certain music, man, the peace is activated, man, especially when it's uplifting, man. Just a lot of different things could just activate that peace within me. Just like certain foods, man, could just activate certain things, like certain healing responses in you. There's certain things that could just activate that peace. They tell you that your body releasing endorphins and things like that, man, when you exercise. And so, yeah, like exercising, man, just motion and all of that, man, can put you in a better space. That's why they tell you, like, if you battling depression, they recommend working out. They recommend you exercise for that reason, because they know it's good for the mental. Jacqueline, for sure. And that goes into the math, which would be tomorrow, from the culture that I come from, the 8, which is build and destroy, which is what influenced that particular lyric in Lauryn Hill, because she definitely build with the gods and the earths and whatnot. But yeah, build and destroy. That's what it's all about, man. In order to build, you got to destroy and things like that. In order to build, at times you got to destroy, and that deals with self. Applied to self, man. In order for you to just build that new and improved self, man, you got to destroy that old self, that self that's been conditioned and programmed. Like, that's what you have to do, man. You got to unlearn and then, relearn, reprogram the mind. And that's why it's challenging educating the black people in the wilderness of North America, because we all in that state, or we have all been in that state. Some of us have overcome that state, but most of our brothers and sisters are in that state, man, where they conditioned and they programmed, and they done been taught all of these lies, man. They done been taught these lies so long that they believe them to be true now. Again, like I said, we all been there, done that. Some of us break it, some of us don't, unfortunately. And that's one thing that we have to realize, man. Some people just not gonna break through. Some people gonna be caught up in these lies to the grave. And that's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody will wake up to the truth. And that's just real. Ja Child, peace. What's happening, G? Oh, goddess, there you go. Man, hey, you know what I'm saying? I can't fool with fishing now, but man, I used to fish back in the day with the pops. Most definitely. Yeah, definitely peaceful, man. Just that environment is peaceful, man. Just being around, it's really the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, the water just brings you that peace, man. When you out there fishing, like the peaceful part is the water and just being out there in nature. But man, that water is peaceful, man. When you just around water, that water brings you that peace, man. Yeah, TRKR. Ignorance is ridiculous, man. Denise, you say them cherries, man, for sure. It's about to be that season again for the cherries. Big cherry fan. Yeah, the ignorance is high. Like I said, man, I'm on a whole Facebook status. I'm seeing somebody that trains talk about being a professional, talking bad about fasting. Like, and you can't tell him nothing. Like, in his mind, fasting is horrible. And that's the word. And he's instructing other people. So he's telling other people that people trust in his authority. So it's like, dude, The ignorance is at an all-time high. I'm glad I have an open mind. I'm glad when I came across the science of fasting that I wasn't like, oh, this is stupid. I need to eat 3 times a day. I'm glad I wasn't like that. I'm glad I was open. I'm glad I was like, hold on, what they talking about? What they talking about not eating for 2 days, not eating for 3 days? What they mean? What they like, that don't sound like, let me look into this. So I'm glad I had that type of mentality, man. I'm glad I have that type of mentality where I'm open. Like when somebody says something that goes against what I claim to know, like I don't shun it. I'm open. Like, let me look into that. And that's what science is. That's what science really is. That's what being a true scientist is really all about. You looking for ways to prove what it is you claim to know wrong. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So if you're subscribing to something, man, it has to be there has to be ways to prove it to be untrue. And when you test all those ways to prove it untrue and it still comes out on top, then that's when you accept something. Like, man, yeah, we have all these different methods to prove this particular belief untrue or this body of knowledge untrue. We've tried them all, but it still comes out on top. It still comes out as true. That's when you accept something. So like when I claim to know something, man, I'm welcoming the information that's going against what it is I claim to know. I'm welcome. I embrace it. Like, please give me that information so I can research it and compare it to what I claim to know. Matter of fact, that may make my stand stronger. So people don't be understanding that though. Or car peace, what's happening? Say nature is my healing for sure. Then you say the Matrix movies talk a lot about being unknowingly addicted to the simulation forced on humans for sure, man. And it's definitely the false piece. It's definitely an addiction. And a lot of time, this is why when it comes to concepts like free will and things like that, I don't believe there is a cut and dry answer. Some people say they believe we have free will 100%. Some people say we don't. It's not that simple. More than I'm honestly, I'm of the opinion that we have less control over our lives than we think. Like the more research I do, like the more I'm starting to realize like it's all about programming. And a lot of literally, like it's like that's where I'm leaning towards. Like we think that we making decisions based off free will, but we really not most of the time. That's where I'm leaning with, man. But a lot of times people just directly answer those questions as if it's like a yes or no. Like I feel like it's deeper than that. Way deeper than that. Way deeper than that. Dominique, peace, what's happening? And tell me, man, I'm telling you, boy, not an ounce of research on fasting. Not an ounce of research. Like not an ounce of research, man. It's like I always go back to Elijah Muhammad because he kind of, I don't want to say popularized it, but he wrote about it. He one of the first ones to write about it on the black end that I know of, how to eat to live. So the reason how I know dude ain't really been doing no research is because he came out with it. Elijah Muhammad came out with it back then, long time ago, and now science is catching up to him. Science is now coming out saying, all right, intermittent fasting is required, necessary. If you're striving to lose weight, you need to be doing some form of intermittent fasting, things like that. So now the science caught up to what he was already telling us. So scientists are now telling you intermittent fasting, there's a lot of benefits to it, just fasting in general, but we've been saying this. Magic Realms, peace, what's happening? Corey, peace, what's the word? As you say, facts, you got to know and understand your body for sure. Yeah, Denise, you say ignorance is another conversation, too many areas to cover. Yeah, just pick an area, man. Like it's ignorance everywhere. Ignorance everywhere. Rodney, what you say? You say what you think about Dr. Umar? You rock with him. Man, I rock with his information in regards to black boys. I rock with that information. But his personality and his antics, I don't rock with. So I don't really care for him as a person based off of what I have seen, but he has definitely came with some valuable information in regards to like the school system in reference to the black boys out here. So I can't knock that information that he has given us. And when I first got into the journey, I was listening to a lot of Umar. So I would never really talk bad about him in that sense because, man, he was pivotal in my transition with that information because I related to a lot of it because, you know, black boy, I done been there, done that. But, man, his antics and his personality just be rubbing me the wrong way, man. Yeah, Jacqueline, for sure. And that's more so what it is for me. It's like a choice between, you know what I'm saying? It's like the programmed options and you have a choice. It's almost like politics. They give you the options, they give you the candidates and tell you to choose between those candidates and say you have a freedom to vote. Like, nah, I really did not have the freedom to vote. Y'all gave me the options and told me to choose between them. That's not really freedom. That's me choosing between the candidates that you gave me. You know, sometimes I feel like life is like that, to where it ain't necessarily free will or, you know, freedom, man, but it's like a choice that's given to us by the circumstances that life has presented us with, or by the programming or conditioning. So it's like we choosing based off of conditions. Like when you go shop for some toothpaste, you know what I'm saying? Like you about to buy the toothpaste that you didn't research, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't influence your mind. They didn't influence you or persuade you to get this certain brand of toothpaste. You think that you did it based on free will. No, you did it based off of what they sold you about the toothpaste. Because you know nothing about the toothpaste because you ain't never used it. So you didn't read up on these different like the toothpaste to use, and you made a decision based off of the advertising. Like they programmed us. So again, that stuff runs deep. Like when I was studying marketing in school and whatnot, that's what they were talking about. They talked about they don't really try to advertise to the conscious mind, because they was like, people do not make decisions based off of the conscious mind. People make decisions based off of the unconscious, the subconscious. So they said a lot of times the marketing and advertisement is directed towards the subconscious because they say we don't make conscious decisions. So these businesses know and understand that. We just don't. We think we consciously making these decisions. No, we are unconsciously making these decisions. But a lot of these organizations, they know and understand that, and that's how they do their marketing and their advertising. They advertising to the subconscious because they know that that's how we make our decisions. So it's real. That's why I tell everybody, it ain't about the free will to me. It's about programming yourself properly. Because at the end of the day, we all under some type of programming. So it can be positive programming, it can be negative programming. But the program is the most important thing. So you got to make sure you programming your subconscious mind on a powerful, positive note. Then everything is going to unfold according to that. So I say the programming is the most important thing. So forget trying to make all of the right conscious decisions. No, just program the subconscious. Program the subconscious how you need to program it. And then you're going to be good. It's the role you say Umar is the truth. Yeah, like I say, as far as his information, it's hard to refute his information when he talks about what he talks about. It's just the antics, his personality that I just don't be rubbing me the wrong way. You know, be rubbing me the wrong way, man. I definitely feel like the brother needs to like get his ego in check. Just like a lot of these brothers, man, that's in this space. I feel like a lot of them need to do that type of work, man, to get the ego in check, man, because a lot of these dudes start to get big-headed. You know, so I feel like a lot of them cats need to do some internal work, internal healing, because they tend to get big-headed, man, for real. Like, you can't be giving all this information, but you're not doing the work that's required for you to be at peace internally. Yeah, Dean, for sure. Definitely a gluttony fest, man. Definitely. Dean, artificial choices. That's basically what it is, you know. Montel Umar was just in St. Louis, actually. Shantae, for sure. And that, man, I'm telling you. So that's why, you know, I've given people marketing advice. And I tell people all the time, I say, man, don't try to tap into the subconscious. You need to make people, like, if you got a product or a service that you are offering, you need to make it in a way to where people have a desire for your product and they don't even know why. Like, that's when you got them. Like they reaching out to you and they don't even really know why. Like It's a lot of people. Show y'all how decent I am at the marketing. It's a lot of people that they hit me up for my service. They were like, man, I don't know how I saw you. I don't know how I came across you, but I did. I say, man, I know how you did it. It's marketing. I know how you came across me. You just don't, but I know how you did it because I did it. It's marketing. But I get that all the time, man. A lot of people like, man, I don't know how I came across you. I don't know how I found you, but here we are. Trust me, I know how I did it. Great piece. What's happening? You say Dr. Umar and how Black youth is treated in the educational system and psychology research has some great knowledge of Black men and youth. For sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, guys, like I said, I ain't gonna, I'm not one of the ones that's totally shunning them. People, a lot of Black people just totally don't rock with Umar. I believe things are, again, I don't believe things are cut and dry. Black people, we got to start understanding how to take the best parts. Black people we always feel like we got to choose a side, or we always feel like it's got to be one extreme or the other. We feel like we either fool with somebody or we don't. We don't understand that, hey, I can take bits and pieces of what they saying and I can agree with it, but then I can also be like, I don't like this about that person. See, we don't know how to do that yet. I'm able to do that. Like, I don't have to totally 100% rock with a person or totally 100% not rock with a person. I can say I fool with what they saying here, but then I don't fool with what they saying there. Like that, we don't realize, we don't understand. We make everything a cult. Like, oh, you like Dr. Sebi, for instance. Like, you either Dr. Sebi or you either love Dr. Sebi's information or you hate it. You either feel like it's right and exact or it's pseudo. People don't understand that. Hey, all right, some of what he's talking about I can rock with, but then some of what he's talking about I'm not gonna implement because based on some other research I did, I don't rock with it. Like, Black people, we got that bad. We got that bad. We either rock with something or we don't. Take the best parts, man. I don't have to treat Umar like a religion to where I believe in him or I don't. Like, nah, yeah, just like any other person on the planet, it's certain things that he say that I agree with, but then there's certain things that he say and do that I don't agree with. Because that's just life, man. Y'all hear me talk about Elijah Muhammad often. Elijah Muhammad definitely did some questionable things. Hence what Malcolm X was on. When he was questioning them. So nah, man, Elijah Muhammad did some things where I'm like, nah, I don't agree with it. But then he put out some work that I can't deny. And that's with everybody. Farrakhan, Elijah, Malcolm, everybody, man. Martin, Huey, you name them. I can find points where I can be like, all right, I see that. Then I can find parts where I'm like, nah, I don't fool with that. When it comes like the Black Panthers, for instance, man, some of them brothers didn't necessarily too much treat women properly, like Asada Shakur talked about that. Like several women that were in the Black Panther Party talked about that. So yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, but hey, some of what they were saying and writing about, I can fool with. Mr. Rowan, see, that's part of what I mean by having the information. Because you got to know and understand, like if you Umar, if you study in your culture and your ancestors and all that, like you say, then you knew that was coming. So you should have been ready. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna let him off the hook that easy because he studied his ancestors. So he knew the hate was gonna come. He knew that was gonna come. You know what I'm saying? Like when you study anything, anybody that came preaching a certain type of message or teaching a certain type of message, they knew that the hate was gonna come. So you know it. That's like when I spit certain information, I already know what type of, you know what I'm saying? I already know the reception I'm gonna get. So it ain't really bothering me none. When I start talking about fasting and just how to eat and going plant-based, I already know what I'm about to get. I already know the hatred I'm gonna get. I already know it. I already know it. Because I know what type of state my people in. So I'm expecting that hatred more than anything, unfortunately. So that's when you utilize that knowledge to deal with it better. Renee, for sure. You say we come into the world as babies knowing nothing. Everything we know now, we acquire from what we see, hear, touch, taste, and feel. And that's why I tell people, that's why you hear the cliche. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And that's a fact. That's why I'm always constantly reading, because it's like the more I read, the more I realize, like, man, I don't really know nothing. Already, you say sort of like Killer Mike. Yeah, hey, Killer Mike. Yeah. Shout out to Killer Mike though. TRK or 49, you say we will judge each other's blackness. How black are you? Yeah. And then outside of the blackness, once you get past that, then now you got people telling you that you're not black, and just stuff like that, man. So it's just, I already know what you're talking about with that community, man. So it's just like, at the end of the day, they try to hit you with all of these, we this, we Israelites, we Moors, and we, what I'm saying, we African, we this. Like, I'm like, at the end of the day, we all original people. That's why that makes the most sense. We can all agree that we the original people of the planet Earth. I don't care what you refer to yourself as. If we all look the same and we saying, oh no, we Israelites, we Moors, but we all look the same, we can all agree that we are all the original people of the planet Earth. We birthed all of that. The mothers and fathers of civilization. Job for sure, man. Hey, once you start bringing that information to the table, it's a wrap. They on your head. Everybody, your own people and the enemy. Real humble peace. What's happening? You say any book recommendations? Ooh, man. Let me see. I'm gonna bring this book, a political book, because I had this book some years ago. Got this book some years ago, right here. The Secret History of the American Empire: The Truth About Economic Hitmen, Jackals, and How to Change the World. This a book right here. It's a different book, man. The Secret History of the American Empire, man. We always finding ways we got to study the enemy, man. And that's one thing I pride myself on, man. I'm studying. I study how they move. I study what they did. I study their history. Because when you got to study patterns, that's mathematics. See, a lot of times we make things spooky. We start talking about people being psychic and things like that. We all can be psychic. We all have psychic abilities, because all that is patterns. You study patterns, man. You study in a pattern. So if you want to try to predict something, which I don't really care to do, because like I said, I just embrace the present. But if you really try to predict something, study patterns. That's how you come up with a proper prediction. Study patterns, man. So when you study in history, so when you analyze, that's how you can analyze somebody's life. Like, look, if you keep traveling down that path, this is how you will end up, dead or in jail. You are studying patterns. That's all that you're doing. That's all being psychic is, man, studying patterns. So we all got psychic abilities, man, because we all have the ability to study patterns, man. That's mathematics, the original language of the universe. Mathematics, man. Again, master math. Like, when we was up in the school system, we was taking things like trigonometry, and we was like, man, I ain't gonna never need this. That's a lie. Like, y'all know I don't fool with the school system, but things like trigonometry, when it comes to math, that's always necessary. Always. You know what I'm saying? It helps with critical thinking and things along those lines. So math is always necessary, and I don't care the form. Trigonometry, calculus, geometry. Geometry is definitely needed, useful. Sacred geometry. Y'all know all about that. But that's the language of the universe, mathematics. So I always recommend people master math, because you master in the universe. You master math, you master in the universe. You master in yourself. So people sleep on math, man. A lot of people be telling, man, I don't like math. Well, I suggest you learn to love it. My pops gave me a jewel one time, and he ain't even really realize what he was doing. He didn't even realize the language he was speaking in. But he was like, man, if you good at math, you great at math, you would never have to worry about anything. And he was talking about it in the sense of like jobs and working and things like that. He was like, if you master math, you great. If you good at math, then you're gonna be okay in life. He didn't realize what he was saying, man. That's the original language of the universe. You master math, like you ain't got to worry about much of anything. Oh, God is for sure. Montel, exactly. You know, and that's how I ended. I'm like, man, we can all agree that we are the original people of the planet Earth. There. That's it. That's all I need to know. Once I got that information, I don't care what you call yourself after that, because we all of that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so I stopped caring. Once somebody told me, hey, we the original people of the planet Earth, mothers and fathers of civilization, I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. Then dudes like, no, you an Israelite, you or more. I say, no, we was all of that, but we was something before we was all of that. Original. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care what you call yourself. Once they gave me the game and said, no, we the original people of the planet Earth, I was good to roll. I ain't even know nothing after that. Shantae, yeah, we gotta tighten up on that math. Math is crucial. Darlene, you say if you know math, you understand logic. For sure. For sure, man. Math is crucial. Math is crucial, man. That's why I tell people, man, understand math. That also helps, man, keep the mind sharp, man. Just master math, study math, man. You know, if you feel yourself getting stagnant mentally, man, just look into some trigonometry. Just try to do a math problem that's hard. TRKR49, you science revolves around math. We say, or is it math revolves around science? I'm gonna say, listen, I'm gonna say the science revolves around the math. But at the end of the day, man, hey, they both right and exact, and they both necessary. And like I said, a lot of people have the wrong breakdown of what science is, because now they have come out here and gave us all of this information about jabs, and they using the word science. So like that and distorted our whole perception of what science actually is. But man, math, man, again, that's the original language of the universe, man. Cito, you say, bro, do you believe your passion can change as you evolve as a person? 100%. 100%. 100% feel like your passion can change. 100%. It matter of fact, like it, for the most part, it does. For the most part, it does. But I definitely, 100%, I don't even believe it. I know that your passion can change. I know it. When you start to evolve, you're gonna come across different interests. Like before I was the person I am today, like I didn't have no interest in reading and things like that. So like my passions were different. I had more ignorant passions back then, you know. But when I started to educate myself, when I started to take on different hobbies, then everything just started changing and shifting. So for sure. Dean, for sure. And that's what yeah, that's how you do. All you did was study a pattern. See, Akuma, see, the thing of it is, and that's really not science. That's actually pseudoscience. But yeah, I seen the artificial sun, but that's pseudoscience. Like science ain't really got anything to do with all of that. You know, science like definitely is seeking answers to like the way the way the universe is and why it is the way that it is, things like that. But science is, you know, what they say, science is provisional. You know what I'm saying? So it's always subject to change. Again, back in the day, again, they felt like everything revolved around the earth. Then they had to come out and change it. See, that's science. So science is not like the artificial sun, or science is not the jab or the vaccine. No, science is, okay, with all of our accumulated information in regards to this subject matter, we have accepted this to be true. Then years later, you come back and test it and you find, okay, here's an error, and now you shift it. And you gotta shift your line of thinking. Like that's science. Being open to revision. So when people start talking about science, like I don't look at science, I don't want to say I don't look at it as information, because you got to accumulate the information to kind of test a hypothesis or a theory and things like that. But science has never claimed to be correct. And that's the thing. Like when you're talking about true science, like they never claim to actually have the answers. If anything, a scientist is trying to disprove what they have accepted to be true. That's real science. So science doesn't have any claim in like the answers. And a lot of people don't be understanding that. They are testing theories, and if the theory has yet to be disproven, then they accept the theory as true. Doesn't mean that it cannot be disproven or disproved, you know. So that's real science. That's real science. So I don't look at science as some actual fact. Like, oh yeah, we got this artificial sun, or we got this vaccine. That's science. Like, no, and no. No. Like, they trying to use that word. They using that word loosely. Like, that's actually pseudoscience, the things that they are talking about. When they give you a vaccine and they try to tell you, oh, it's science, it's not. And the reason why I say that, because of course they have fabricated the test and all of those things. So they're going to tell you, oh, you know what I'm saying, it's a safe and effective method based off of the test that they constructed and whatnot. But they haven't did any test on the people that are taking a holistic route, the natural route. They totally shunning that route. So no, that's nowhere near science, you know. But they claim it is, because the reason why they claim it is because they know how people view that word. And if they tell something based off of science, then people are like, oh, okay, that must be true. But yeah, they using that word science too loosely, and I don't necessarily like it. I don't like it at all, man, because that's how they tricking people. They got people thinking that what they subscribing to is science. Internet Peace Queen, what's happening? See though, JF Peace, what's happening? You say I'm slowly moving away from this music thing, tired of consuming all this toxic music. See though, man, listen, that was my first passion, or one of my passions, being in the music industry. That changed. Oh, God, is for sure, man. Our ancestors, man. Boy, where my book at, man? I got the book Blacks in Science. Matter of fact, hold on, let me grab a book. Man, I ain't even got my book, man, written by Robert Walker, man. But I ain't even got that joint on me. Man. But he talks about that for sure, man. Let me look. I'm trying to look for that joint. Matter of fact, there you go. Let me grab it. Yeah, here go the jewel right here. You know what I'm saying? Blacks in Science, Volume 1. Blacks in Science, Volume 1, Ancient Egyptian Contributions to Science and Technology and the Mysterious Sciences of the Great Pyramid, Robin Walker. Grab his joint. It tells you about the brilliance of our ancestors and how they have yet to be able to replicate what it was that they did, mathematically speaking, scientifically speaking. Matter of fact, in this book, he tells you about how we invented the 365-day calendar, not needing a leap year. They tell you in this book how we created the hour. Like, we create all this, like 365-day calendar, like literally, we created it. You know what I'm saying? They don't give us credit for nothing. You don't learn about this type of stuff in school. You don't learn about these things in school, man. But he breaks it down to you, man. Matter of fact, I could read y'all. You know, I like to read, man. So I like to read the stuff to y'all, man. Like, just listen to it, man. The ancient Egyptians invented the 365-day solar calendar based on astronomical observation. They also created the concept of the month and the zodiac based on the grouping of stars. They grouped at least 43 stellar constellations. Like, come on, man. Matter of fact, let's read about the brilliance. Let's read about how they actually created this joint, though. Their most important contribution to astronomy, however, was their creation of the zodiac cycle, which is superior to the concept of the leap year that we use today. Superior to the concept of the leap year. The zodiac cycle is based on the fact that the Earth spins 365 and 1/4 times each time it orbits the sun. Since it is impractical to have the concept of 1/4 of a day, we moderns have adopted the practice of having a leap year of 366 days once every 4 years to correct for this problem. The ancient Egyptians had a cleverer way of dealing with this. They ran a civil calendar of 365 days, but also ran a more accurate calendar of 365 1/4 days at the same time. After 1 year, the two calendars would disagree by a fourth of a day. After 2 years, two calendars would disagree by a half of a day. After 3 years, the two calendars would disagree by 3/4 of a day. After 4 years, the two calendars would disagree by a whole day. We can therefore calculate that after 8 years, the two calendars would disagree by 2 days. After 12 years, the two calendars would disagree by 3 days, etc. Keeping these calculations going after 1,460 years of 365 and the fourth days, the two calendars would disagree by a whole year, and thus the first day of the year on one calendar would be the first day of the year on the second calendar. The 1,460 year period is called the Sothaic cycle. So there it is. And then they talked about how they came to the concept of the leap year. But man, it lets you know. Let you know how we came up with the calendar that's superior to the calendar that we use today. So we using a primitive calendar. So they like to say our ancestors were primitive and things like that. They like to say the ancient Egyptians and the Ethiopians and all that were primitive people. Yet we had a superior calendar. They don't give us no credit. Oh, that was primitive. No, we didn't either utilize the leap year that they utilize in a day, but they cannot even understand the math. Like, did y'all hear what I just read to y'all? That's math. That's mathematics. That's what our ancestors came up with this way before these smartphones and all of this stuff that we utilize in the day. They was utilizing the mind. They was observing the soul. They was observing the solar system. They was observing the stars, and they came up with all of this. That's how they was moving. But they're not gonna teach you about that. They're not gonna teach you about that at all, man. They're not gonna give us any credit, man. Look at that. The Egyptians invented the hour. This is the length of time it takes the moon to move its own diameter relative to the sun. That's how we was, That's how we was getting down. That's how he was getting down. Like if you want the proof, if you want to give somebody the proof, that our ancestors was brilliant people, man, I got a few of these books, man, but this is definitely one of them. I don't know if I got the other one. Yep, I got the other one right here too. Here go the other one. Blacks in Science, Ancient and Modern, Ivan Van Sertima. Y'all know Ivan Van Sertima. He wrote Came Before Columbus. They came before Columbus. So y'all familiar with Van Sertima. Y'all know, y'all hip. Oh, they lean. They like to portray the Egyptians as not only white, but they want you to believe that the original Egyptians were Arabs. And that is not true. They want y'all to think that the Arabs are the original Egyptians. Yeah, we know that that's garbage. We know that that's garbage, but that's the picture that they paint. That's the current picture that they paint. They want you to think that the original Egyptians are Arabs. Like, nah, we all know. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, to figure out that that's a lie. Doesn't take much to figure that out, man. That's an obvious bold-faced lie, but that's what they trying to get us to accept and believe. But man, we got ancestors that came before us. We got ancestors that came before us, man, and we got, listen, brilliant people still doing the work today that's giving us the evidence that we need. Giving us the evidence that we need, man. Which is sad that we need to have this type of evidence. But it is what it is. We got the evidence. we got the evidence, man. We got the evidence, man. Like I said, all of what I just mentioned, man, if you need evidence, man, these two good books to start. But we got plenty of other books, man. Let you know that, hey, ain't no them Arabs, ain't no original Egyptians. Like, no, get out of here, man. They always trying to claim territory that belongs to the original people of the planet Earth. Shantae, exactly. That son, listen, That sun will fry them, man. They can't survive and thrive down there, man. They just cannot. They just cannot. But they want to claim it though. They want to claim it. They want to claim everything. They want to make it seem like we are the ones with no home. Like, nah, can't do that. We got a lot of work out here. We got a lot of ancestors that put in a lot of work to let y'all know, hey, stop spreading these lies. Stop spreading this nonsense, man. Stop spreading it. Stop spreading it, man. Stop spreading this. Stop spreading this BS. Got us exactly. You know what I'm saying? The sun is not on their side. You know what I'm saying? That's a sad reality for them, yo. Unfortunate. Because I rock with the sun. I rock with the sun, moon, and the stars. I rock with it. You know, hey, that stuff is on our side. You know, we rock with it. We was able to create calendars. We was able to create the hour, things like that, based off of being connected to the sun, moon, and the stars. That's how we came up with these powerful concepts that we get no credit for. Gets no credit for them. Like, that's all bad. We get no credit for these things that we originated, that we invented. Tragic. Oh yeah, Dean, for sure, man. Being miseducated like a mug, man. Romeo and Juliet, man. You know, sad part about my life. Sad fact about my life, man. I was actually in a Romeo and Juliet play in middle school, man. They got the kid. You know, I ain't know no better, man. I was straight in a play, man. I believe I was Romeo. Don't y'all please don't write me off as a sellout, y'all, man. Don't do me like, don't disown me because I was in a Romeo and Juliet play in middle school, man. I hope y'all don't disown me. But that's a sad fact about my life, man. I was in a Romeo and Juliet play in middle school, man. I don't even know how they got the kid, but they got the kid. I ain't proud of that, looking back on it. CC Peach, what's happening? You know, they got the kid, man. I was in that thing, they got me, you know, but never again. I really honestly don't know how that happened. I'm trying to figure y'all got me. I'm actually trying to figure this out now. How did I end up in that play? Because like it's not really it's not really making any sense. That's crazy. I was straight in that joint. It was like you know what I'm saying? It was like the street version of Romeo and Juliet because you know, if anybody had never seen me acting and whatnot, like that's horrible. I mean, you say I hope to teach my kids all African history for sure. That's for sure. That's the only way to teach them. Dakota, you say were you at least little Romeo? Nah, man, I was straight Romeo. Not Romeo from Steve Harvey, not Lil Romeo. Like I was Romeo. So they got the kid, man. I was Romeo, man. Straight up happened. Shooter Cade, I know for sure I can't, but you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. You know, a lot of times, you know, I got dry humor and things like that. So Muggs was just liking me based off of the fact that I kept it real. Like when I would recite lines and stuff, I recite the line just like I'm talking to y'all now. Like it wasn't no emotional Romeo. Like I was the same way I am now playing Romeo. So y'all could just imagine how crazy that was. I wasn't doing anything extra. I was this person that y'all see right now, just reciting lines for Romeo. So I was like, yeah, this is stupid. But I don't know. They got the kid, man. I was in that joint, man. But whatever though. At least it was a black cast, man. That's how I'm gonna justify. At least the cast was all black. You know what I'm saying? That's of course cast was black, so that was cool. Yeah, yeah, man. But they still got the kid though. I feel like he tricked me. No way I would have agreed to that in my right mind, man. They brainwashed me. Honestly, I believe I was in that joint because it wasn't too many. Oh, Corey, no, you see, that was the thing. We was able to dress out how we dressed out. You know what I'm saying? Like how we normally dress. So wasn't nothing crazy. Best believe I ain't taking that L. No. But we are regular clothes. Yeah, we wasn't taking that L. There is no way on the planet I was finna take that L and had them. Nah, I wasn't finna rock them clothes they was rocking back then. No, sir. No, sir. Fit Crip. Yeah. Man, the name is great. Fit Crip, man. That's it. That's a brand right there, man. Fit Crip. But yeah, when she was like, "Where are thou, Romeo?" You was like, "Yeah, I'm right here." Yeah, man, I honestly believe I was on that type of. I don't remember what I did and said verbatim, but I think I was just like that. I think I seriously believe that's how I was, man. I was like, yeah, I'm in this thing. Because I think that's what it was, man. I think they let us kind of revise it though. Like I think that was the twist. It was the play because y'all know I was, what I'm saying, I'm in the inner city, whatever you want to call it, Wasn't really the inner city, but man, where I was at is black. So I think they let us put our own twist on that joint. So I think we was able to put our own twist on some of the lines, man. So I think that was part of the agreement. Nah, Corey, no, sir. No, sir. Like y'all ain't yeah, y'all ain't new. Y'all ain't catch me in them tights. The closest y'all gonna get to some tights, man, is when I ran track and you wore them joints under them ski shorts that they gave. That's it. That's it, bro. That's the closest y'all gonna get, man. When y'all see me working out or when I was running track, and what I'm saying, they gave us them ski joints. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave us the booty shorts. Man, I ain't rocking. Nah, you know what I'm saying? We ain't rocking the booty shorts without no tights, man. You know what I'm saying? No. You know, I don't know what my high school was on, man. Gave us straight booty shorts, man. So I'm like, nah, we gotta get some tights for that. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get the tights, bro. We ain't rocking like that. Some dudes was a little risky. Some dudes was brave and courageous. They was out here, you know what I'm saying, straight booty shorts and not the kid. Not the kid. Nah, we wasn't going for that type of stuff early in the game. We knew better than that early. We ain't looking silly out here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that. I tell man, I don't remember all of it, but I remember a little bit. I ain't really pay too much attention for real. I just know I was in that play, and I think I got the remix a lot. Eileen, you say different subject, but do you believe that life is unfair, or it's all karma? Ooh, I was just having this conversation, just having this conversation. So let me go ahead and do you believe that life is unfair, or is it all karma? First of all, to answer the unfair part, no, I don't believe it's unfair. I don't even believe it's fair. You know what I'm saying? Like again, we place labels on all of that. Even when it comes to like karma and things along those lines, I look at life like this: we all gonna live, and we gonna have so-called good things happen to us, and we gonna have bad things that happen to us. That's just life in general. It's all about how you respond and react to these things that happen to you. That's what life is all about. So I'm not looking at it in the sense of it being fair. I'm not looking at it in the sense of being unfair. Life literally is what it is. The universe literally is what it is. And I was building on how we feel like, or how we always got to make ourselves seem more significant or seem very significant. So you have a situation where it's like, and I always use prayer as an example. So people will pray. Like I said, let's say we sending our kids on a trip, right? And it's 20 kids on the trip, 20 parents. Everybody praying for safe travels. Bus, it's an accident with the bus. Boom. Your child is the only one that survives. And now you want to make yourself seem more important because it's like, oh yeah, he answered my prayer. So thank God my child didn't die. But it's like, what about the 19 other that got killed in that accident and their parents prayed just the same? So you saying your God shows favoritism. Even with the universe, we like to make ourselves seem more significant than other people. So we'll start saying things like the universe always works in my favor, or the universe always got my back. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Like the universe literally just is the universe. It is what it is. We don't make the universe something spooky. Don't make the universe an entity that only moves in your favor, that only answers your affirmations. Like, no, listen, that's not what it is. That's not what's happening. Let the universe be what it is. Let, you know what I'm saying, just let life be what it is, man. But everything is just like a figment, not of your imagination, but of your mind. Of your mind. So I don't necessarily even believe in good and bad, good and or bad. So I tell people all the time, man, good things don't happen to you, bad things don't happen to you. Things just happen to you, and we place a label on the things that happen. Literally. Because what's good to me can be perceived as bad to the next person. And vice versa. What's bad to somebody else can be perceived as good to me. Very seldomly do we have things that we universally agree upon that are good and or bad. So I feel like things just happen and we place a label on these things that happen to us. So life is not unfair. Life literally just is. Things will happen to you. It's all about how you perceive what happened to you. So if you perceive the things that happen to you as bad, then of course you're going to feel like life is unfair. But who's to say that these things are really actually bad that's happening to you? But if you don't place a label on any of these things that happen to you, then you don't have to say life is fair nor unfair. That's why I don't say life is fair nor unfair, because I don't place a label on the things that happen to me. It's a lesson in everything. I'm just going to extract the lesson and keep on moving. That's literally it. I ain't going to focus on the fairness of life. I'm not going to compare. Like when we start saying life is unfair, the only reason why we would come up with that is because we comparing our lives to somebody else. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why we would say or come to the conclusion that life is unfair, because we didn't compare it to somebody else. Because how else would we deem it unfair? You're going to be looking at somebody else's life like, Dad, they doing all of this and this ain't happening to them. So therefore my life is unfair. That's the only reason that you will reach a conclusion like that, when you start comparing your life to somebody else. So I never really compare my life to anybody else. And I don't label things as good or bad. I know that may sound weird, but I don't label things good or bad. It's just things happening, man. Things happen, and that's life. That's literally life. That's just life, man. Things gonna happen to us. Yeah, Corey, for sure. And Jacqueline, yes, for sure. You say that when you say I was thinking about this because there are so many black artists whose work has been stolen, taken as white music, like rock and roll. And again, and I already know what you going with that, because a lot of people see, I'm not, again, like I said, like I was talking about free will. I have the same outlook in regards to karma. I don't necessarily believe that that's a cut and dry response, but everybody else don't look at it like that. Either you believe in karma or you don't. See, I don't look at things like that, man. I don't think karma is 100% a universal law, but I don't totally rule it out. You have instances where, okay, yeah, you definitely gonna reap where you sow, but then you also have instances where, hey, you're gonna receive some things you may not have been asking for, that you may not have even reaped, because that's just life. Life outside of you is very unpredictable. So you may have to deal with some things that you didn't necessarily ask for, that your energy didn't necessarily lead to you reciprocating, and things like that, because that's the unpredictable nature of life outside of you. You know, so I don't necessarily like to try to, like, I don't think everything is 100% karma related. But, you know, again, like I said, we got to deal with extremes. We either going to think karma is true or it's not. Like, nah, we act like things can't be kind of in the middle. And that's what science really is. I'm not looking at something that's 100% right and exact. No, like I don't look at karma as being something that's 100% true, but I don't look at it as being 100% untrue. Because you definitely, listen, if we gonna use the good and bad labels, then you definitely have situations to where bad things happen to good people. If we using these concepts of good and bad. So you definitely have bad things that happen to good people. So you definitely have people that's putting out a lot of positivity into the atmosphere, that it's a lot of things some things that's gonna come their way that can be perceived as negative or bad. But again, it goes back to not labeling these things. But if you on the surface and you labeling things good and or bad, then I know that you know somebody, man, that this was like the sweetest person you knew, and just rough things were happening to him. My grandmother, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it don't get nicer than my grandmother, man. But it was things that happened to her. Like, man, what is happening? It's just life. You know what I'm saying? You in a car accident, and it's a drunk driver, dude driving on the wrong side of the road. Like, that's the cause and effect right there. It ain't have anything to do with some negative energy my grandmother put out in the universe. And I sometimes I feel offended when some people start speaking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the cause and effect was some dude decided to drink and drive, and he was on the wrong side of the road, and my grandmother was in the vehicle that he ran into, and she got injured. You know what I'm saying? And it's 2 people died. I'm not about to look at it and say, oh, they deserve to die because something they put out into the, I don't believe stuff is that simple, that cut and dry. No. You know what I'm saying? Dude made a decision to do something that was reckless, and it caused harm. You know? So I don't believe things to be 100% karma related, or I don't believe karma to be 100% untrue. You have moments to where, yeah, that's definitely I was reaping what I sowed, but then you also have things that just happen. You literally have the unexplainable, like things that we cannot explain. And a lot of times we don't deal with that type of stuff well, man. We don't deal with just not being able to explain why something happened, man. Sometimes things do just happen. Like, for real. Just on the real. Sometimes things do just kind of happen. You know, and sometimes that's how you just got to look at it. Like, hey, man, life just happen. I can try to, get metaphysical and come up with a deep reason as to why it happened, but that ain't gonna really solve any of my problems. You know what I'm saying? Like, when somebody passes that was a loved one, and you trying to get metaphysical with it, like, what they just, hey, man, it ain't gonna make you feel better about the situation. Better future, man. Listen, with the fitness videos, man, I'm working with a brother, man. I'm in talks with a brother that he does the filming and things like that. So I said, when I start getting back on YouTube with the workout videos, I want it to be professional. So I'm in works with somebody, man. So be on the lookout for those joints. But I just had to, like, I didn't want to film myself and put it on YouTube. I'm gonna do the professional joint. So I got a brother that I trust to do a good job, man. So when I start back filming, y'all gonna see some top notch quality joints. That's coming soon, though. Doors Garden Peace, what's happening? Zero Peace, what's happening? Yeah, Jacqueline. Yeah, definitely a decision. Like I said, dude decided to drink and drive, and that pretty much almost caused my granny to lose her life at that time. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't had nothing to do with some negative energy my granny put out. Like, man, it was just, listen, wrong place, wrong time, man. Like, that's the situation. Like, when dudes decide to shoot up a crib and is a child, you know what I'm saying? Like, or innocent bystander, man, literally wrong place, wrong time, man. Wrong place, wrong time, man. That's a thing, man, for real. Wrong place, wrong time, dude. It just happens. It happens like that sometimes, yo. Sometimes things ain't as deep as we try to make them, man. We be trying to make some things so deep to where we start sounding kind of dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes things ain't that deep. Like, sometimes things are really not that deep, man. Hey, just like I said, dude decided to drink while driving, almost cost people. He killed 2 people and critically injured another 2. Outside of that happening, I don't really care about any type of deeper reasoning as to what happened. Like, I just don't care about any of that, man. Dude decided to do something he shouldn't have done, and that killed 2 people and almost killed another 2. But yeah, y'all, man, with that being said, man, I definitely went over my time on that, man. I gotta make my rounds to this gym, man. I gotta put in some work, man. Gotta finish off these clients, these evening clients. So I appreciate y'all tapping in with the kid, man. I just want to throw some positive energy out there, man. Y'all hit me with some good questions too. I'm gonna come back and elaborate on some of these other topics, man, that y'all brought up for sure. Like I definitely want to build on karma, most definitely. Get more in depth with it. Just build on some like experiences I had, man. A lot of people always talk about their experiences, man, and act like I ain't never experienced things. You know, I've experienced the same things that everybody else experienced, man, and that still has not swayed my stance in life. All of these paranormal, supernatural experiences, best believe I done been there, done that. You know, so I want to build on that. And a lot of people always wonder how I reach the conclusions that I reach because I don't necessarily deal with a lot of, you know what I'm saying, what we call the spookism. You know, I don't deal with a lot of that, but I've had the same type of experiences as everybody else, man. Same type of experiences. Near death experiences, man. I done had all of these experiences, man. And ain't none of these things spooked me out to where I felt like I had to believe in something that wasn't true. You know, so I definitely want to chop it up, man, and just give y'all that perspective, man, because a lot of people talk about their experiences in regards to the reason why they believe in something. And they think that we ain't never had them experiences. Those of us that don't believe in certain things. I done had probably more powerful experiences than these people. Matter of fact, today I was informed. Y'all know I be complaining about this lady, man, that's always talking about religion, man, getting on my nerves. But I'm gonna tell you all this before I go, man. That same lady had to sat here and told me that even though I don't believe in the Bible, Jesus, and all of that, that I act more like Jesus than most Christians. Do y'all understand? Do y'all know how I had to hold my breath? Y'all know what I wanted. Y'all know what I wanted to say. Y'all know I wanted to go in when she said that. I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. But Muzz had the nerve to tell me that I act more Christ-like than the Christians, even though I don't believe it. Like, come on, man. That's what we've been saying. I've been saying that for a minute. Oh, Doris Garden for sure. I gotta pick up the oil though. Yeah, I had that mug shipped to my people's crib, man, because they be tripping when they ship stuff to over here, man. You mess around and not get your joint. But yeah, for sure. I'm working on my next book too, man. Be on the lookout, man. Give me about another month or so, man. I'm gonna have another book out, man. That's gonna be coming soon, man. I gotta get back on the book right thing, man. I'm trying to get into like novels, man. That's my thing, man. So hopefully y'all support that. Hopefully y'all like to read novels. You know, so that's my next endeavor. Yeah, that's my next endeavor, man. I want to get into novels because you know, black people, we love to be entertained. We like stories. So I'm gonna start telling some stories to the kids, man. I'm gonna start telling some stories to the kids. So I'm just about to get into that side of writing, man. So like I said, hopefully that's something that y'all fool with. Terenzo, peace. What's happening? Doris Garden. Man, wish I had time to chop it up, but if you ever have time, because I ain't got the time to build on it right now, but I'm people been asking for me to build on it about the culture. If you don't know anything about the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths, I would say Google that, but you know what I'm saying, I don't really too much like what Google be saying about us for real for the most part. You could definitely YouTube some brothers. Man, what's the channel, man? What's the channel? If Mega, check out that channel on YouTube. INFMEGA. They got a lot of good representatives from the culture. If I was able to chop it up, I would build a lot on kind of what it is that we deal with, because we don't necessarily deal with beliefs. Either we know or we don't. So we don't deal with beliefs. I got a book right here called Faith versus Fact. You know what I'm saying? Why science and religion are incompatible. So that's just kind of what we deal with. We deal with the actual facts. We deal with knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily deal with beliefs. We don't necessarily deal with faith. Things along those lines. Either we know something or we don't. And if we don't know something, that's cool. It's all good to say we don't know. Just like when somebody asks me, what do you believe happens to us after we die? My answer is I don't know, because I haven't died yet. You know, so I ain't about to give nobody a deep answer. You know, so that's the example of us not knowing something and being able to say I don't know. Like, I literally do not know what happens to us after we die. I can give y'all some metaphysical deep response, but that'd be a theory. That'd be my opinion. It's not an actual fact. It'll be a belief. You know, and I'm not here to give y'all that. You know, so a lot of times y'all may hear me say some things about I just don't know. You know, and that's being truthful. But Dory, some members of Wu-Tang are 5%. Some members. Like Ghostface and Raekwon, they are actual Muslims. Jizza is definitely a member, from my understanding. RZA definitely got the lessons. Method Man definitely didn't walk through the lessons. All of them, a ODB, RIP to ODB, but he definitely was true in living. Yeah, but most of them definitely walked through the lessons. I don't know about like Inspector Deck and all of them. Like I don't know. See, that'd be belief. So I don't know about them, but I like just based off of the knowledge that I've gotten, I know Ghostface and Raekwon, they are actual Muslims. Jizza definitely still represents the culture. RZA definitely is a good representation of the culture, or representative of the culture. Method Man, you know what I'm saying, last time I checked, got the knowledge. But yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna definitely tap into some of these things. Yeah, Santana, see, that's what I'm talking about. We don't know that to be true. That's what I mean. Like I said, it's cool to say we do not know something. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's just how you break down afterlife. Now, as far as like me existing after I die, I can't speak on that. Afterlife could be something along the lines of your legacy, your seeds, your children. That could be afterlife. You know, but as far as me existing after I die, I can't speak on that. And I really don't care to speak on that because that's really not going to do anything for me. But I can't definitively tell you that exists. That would be me lying. So I can't definitively tell somebody that the afterlife exists. That's not honest. You know what I'm saying? That's really not honest at all. Like I can't do that. But you know, religion is gonna do that. They're gonna tell you that they know for certain that something like that exists. You cannot be for certain, especially when you haven't experienced and witnessed it. Like you haven't died, literally. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about, man. We got to be honest with some of these things. We legitimately don't know. And if more people would just admit that it's some things that I just don't know, and I just choose to believe it, then the world would be a better place. But people use their beliefs as some form of knowledge, like it's true. Nah, the afterlife is just a belief. That's all that it can be. Just like the origin of everything, man. A lot of them things are based on beliefs, what you believe happened. Because none of us was there in the beginning. If there was a beginning, you know what I mean? So, hey. But y'all, with that being said, man, I gotta go ahead and clock out, man. I gotta make my way to this gym. Appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Like I said, we're gonna have some more powerful bills in the future, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Monday. But I'm out though, y'all. Peace.